Good morning, guys. I'm feeling like crap today. I was up till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning trying to get everything uploaded and edited and all that, and it still had a problem. Finally got it all done. I should probably say afternoon instead of good morning. At either rate, my allergies are killing me. They're all flared up. But it's gonna be a pretty relaxed day. I'm just gonna kind of hang out and try to get maybe a little bit more sleep and go from there. We'll talk to you later. Hey guys, so getting ready to eat my first meal of juice. Like I said, I'm not feeling all that great today. I'm tired. I didn't sleep too much last night. I wish I had. Getting everything edited, getting everything put up, and getting both videos, the challenge video and the regular daily vlog up. So, like I said, today's going to be kind of lazy around the house. Made my juice. It's 2:45, and I'm just now getting to eating something, which is bad. But, you muscle through it, you get through it, you stick with it, and, you continue to see results. That's what it comes down to. So anybody out there that's interested in trying this or at least getting more information, leave a comment down below or contact me, and we'll see what we can do. I know that a lot of people have misconceptions or they think that it's extreme, and it is extreme. I'm not going to lie. But for the people out there that have a relationship with food that isn't necessarily a healthy one, even if you quote unquote eat healthy the majority of the time, if you're not counting your calories, you don't know exactly what you're intaking, and that's the problem. A lot of people, they'll eat a great breakfast, they'll eat a good lunch, and then they'll go stop by somewhere on the way home, and that's not good. In one meal, you could have 1,500 calories, 2,000 calories in one fast food meal. And for even me personally, my calorie intake is between 2,000 to 2,400 on a regular day when I'm maintaining my weight and staying active. For, like Lindsay, for instance, for her to maintain, she's at around 1,200 to 1,400 calories. So think about that. If one meal is 1,500 to 2,000 calories, if she ate breakfast and lunch, she's way over. So she's going to gain weight. A lot of people state that, well, it's a lot more complicated than, a lot more complicated than that. And it is complicated, but it's not that bad. It's a simple factor. Calories in versus calories out. If you take in 2,200 calories and you only need 2,000, then 200 calories is going to go somewhere, and it's going to turn into fat. I mean, that's what our body does. Yes, hormones play a factor. Activity level plays a factor. Like, I'm still intaking protein. Why? Because I don't necessarily want to give up muscle mass. If I can hold on to as much muscle mass as possible, then great. What I have been doing, though, is I've been using the treadmill here. Utilizing this treadmill gives me an opportunity to continue in with some cardio, continue in with, getting my muscles moving, and that way they don't, degrade from that point because they're being used. And that's one thing that a lot of people don't understand as well. When you're doing this, you have to stay active to a point. You may have an active job, and that's great. But if you don't stay active, you're not going to see as much of a result. And that's one thing that, I need to stress. I know that there's one person out there that's reached out to me that, there are issues. There are issues, convincing the people around that this is a good way of doing it. Don't get me wrong. This isn't permanent. This isn't something that you're going to do for the rest of your life as far as fasting and only drinking juice. The program goes, and a lot of people do a 3, a 5, or a 10-day, or maybe even 15-day juice fast with this. I'm going extreme with 60 days. I know what it takes for my brain to reprogram or rewire itself so that, I'm not going to go jumping back, and I'm not going to want that pizza or whatever the case may be. Am I going to have pizza again in my lifetime? Of course I am. Am I going to, have a hamburger? Of course I am. But relearning my relationship with food is going to give me the opportunity to get a jump start at it. I'm going to know that, if I juice for a couple, meals that day, that, if I have that hamburger, and as long as I keep it really, really healthy and on the healthier side, maybe without a bun, maybe, without all the extra condiments, whatever, that I can still maintain where I'm at when I'm at that point. And that's one thing I like to see. I would love for everybody around me to be active and healthy and everything else. The fact remains that that's not necessarily the case. All I can do is focus on me, and I can help the people around me if they want help. So if you want help, contact me. Leave me a comment down below, whatever the case may be. If anybody around you is deterring you from doing it, like me, for instance, I was even skeptical, and other people around me were skeptical because of what this entails. And, I had to kind of put it down and actually try it. What's the worst that's going to happen? Obviously, my body's going to tell me if it's bad enough. Do I get shaky occasionally? Sure. Do I get a little lightheaded occasionally? Sure. But that all comes with having a calorie deficit, especially with the calorie deficit that, I'm currently working on. The key to it is to make sure that you're talking to your doctor, that your doctor is doing, that doctor is included in all of this. If your doctor says go for it, go for it. Start out with a smaller fast. Lindsay did 10 days. She did her 10 days, and then she went back to eating solid foods. Well, she's noticing that she's not losing as much weight as she wanted. So she's contemplating going back on another fast because obviously she doesn't quite have everything down. For me, this is, I need to drop weight. I need to drop weight. I need to get the things that are wrong with me in order. I had really bad dry scalp, which most people would consider dandruff. I had stomach problems, really bad stomach problems. In the last 20, what are we on, 22, day 22, I think it is, 23. I have not had a single problem, not one single problem. That's significant for me. I've been able to fly, I've been able to do the things that I want to do without a problem. That's huge. It was getting to the point where the doctor was actually getting concerned with what I was having with my intestines, where, it began to degrade. Not even a problem since. That's amazing. So, if you're looking to possibly do this, and I know I've said this already, but contact me. I'll get you the facts. I'll get you the information. I'm not saying do it. I'm not trying to convince you to do it. You can take that information, take it to your doctor, and discuss it with them. Take it to family, take it to, a spouse, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, whatever you have. But all I'm saying is that, this is what's working for me, this is what's working for Lindsay, and this is the route that we are taking. Proper diet and exercise will work, but sometimes, you need a jump start. I went from 200 and almost 85 pounds, and I just today, out of habit, weighed myself. I'm in the 250s. Granted, it's 259 and change. I'm in the 250s. I was 257 pounds when I married Lindsay 7 years ago. So in the last 7 years, I haven't been in the 250s. I've been between 260 and 280. I mean, holy crap, right? So keep in mind that this is my sprint to get to a point where, I can look at things rationally, and I no longer have those pangs of, wanting this, wanting that. Your mind plays tricks on you when it realizes, and when you actually consciously realize that, holy crap, I haven't really eaten a solid food in 22 days now. But I'm still healthy. I'm still here. I'm still, functioning. I'm doing everything I need to do. So, in closing on this conversation, I hope that everybody finds a way to be healthy. And if you need help, let me know.
Hey guys, so I haven't really had a chance to say anything today, but Josh and I just finished watching this movie called Lucy, and it's really, really interesting. I'd heard some mixed reviews about it, but I was really kind of excited. I'm glad I watched it. For those of you that have never seen the movie, this is a spoiler alert. So the whole premise is about this woman who's exposed to a synthetic version of a hormone that's naturally produced during pregnancy, and because of this, it causes her brain to overdevelop, and she starts being able to almost develop her own neural pathways and access 100% of her brain. And it's just really interesting in the concept wise. It's the idea that, every time she adds additional 5 to 10% of her brain, she has these additional abilities, and they're not necessarily grounded or rooted in this idea of fantasy or supernatural occurrence, but rather the idea of quantum mechanics. And it's just, if you're a nerd and you're into those really odd theories, I would definitely recommend it. And I'm a Morgan Freeman fan and a Scarlett Johansson fan anyway, so it's a good movie, and it's definitely something to look into, especially, like I said, if you're a bit of a nerd and the idea of the theories is interesting. I can't remember what the other movie is called, but I think it came out 5 or 10 years ago. There was this movie about this guy who goes out, and somehow or another he takes this drug, and it causes him kind of the same thing where the brain picks up capability, and in the end he ends up perfecting the drug and retains his intelligence. I think this movie just takes it a little bit further.
Limitless.
Josh just looked it up for me. I guess the movie was called Limitless. So I have to say, I really liked that movie. I think I like this one better just because the producers, director, whatever, ends up starting with these very interesting visuals and putting these comparisons in between humans and animals and natural disasters and the survival of cells and organisms. So it's, like I said, it's really a good movie. I think I'll probably actually buy this one. So if you've seen it and if you agree or disagree, leave a comment below. And if you have any other movies that you think would be interesting to watch, leave them in the comments. I'll watch them and tell you what I think. And I'll probably sign off because it's getting kind of late. So if you like the videos, always give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe or follow us on Twitter. And I hope you have a good night.